Hello and welcome one and all to Parry's Pickups. Now I've been doing a series of pickup videos about the games I've picked up off eBay within the 3 months I've been away from the UK living in Denmark. And so, as you know, I came back to a lot of games. This is the everything else video. So basically it includes everything else that doesn't fit into a neat category like some of the other games we've looked at. I'll start with a Mega Drive game. Sonic & Knuckles. Finally got a box copy of this. I did actually kind of a box copy. I had a VHS box where the original cover had been kind of cut out and stuck in the VHS box along with the manual and cartridge. This is the original box. It's a little bit damaged on the inside, as you can probably see here, but it's all there, including the game's manual as well, which I thought was quite interesting because this particular manual has only one language in it, and the cartridge itself reads assembled in the UK, whereas the other version I've got of Sonic & Knuckles includes a multi-lingual manual. So a little bit different than the one I've got, it's a slight variant, but I wanted to be able to stick these on the shelf with the stick all my Sonic Mega Drive games together and have the whole set. So that's why I've got this one. Next up we've got Mask of Zoro for the Game Boy Color. So I've been collecting Zoro games, as you might already know. This is not a great one. I haven't actually played it. All I did was look at a YouTube video of it after the fact of buying it, and I thought, oh, maybe I should have given it a miss, but I decided, well, looks like I'm collecting them now, so I have it, and it wasn't very expensive. It's a box Game Boy game. Yeah, but probably one I'm not going to get a lot of play value out of, unfortunately. Next up we have Killing Time. These are in no particular order. I could have done them in format order, but hey, what the heck. We'll just throw caution to the wind. And here's Killing Time for the 3DO. Killing Time is a first-person shooter with some great FMV integration, and I love a bit of FMV in my video games. So this is a game I used to play with my uncle when he first got his 3DO, and I think over time what I've been doing is collecting 3DO games that have some sort of nostalgia value for me, and Killing Time is certainly one of them, so I'm quite happy to have picked this one up recently. Next up we'll have, well, let's talk about Revolt. Revolt is a RC racing game. It's available for multiple formats, including the N64 and the PlayStation 1. This is the Dreamcast version, and it's kind of cool. I like the bright visuals. I like the whole aesthetic of it. That you are an RC car, you are racing around. At the first level there's a street, there's bedrooms and such. You race around, and yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of fast, which is quite difficult to control, and also the handling, at least the car I was using when I had to give a quick go, was quite hard to drive. But I think it's one of those games where the more time you spend with it, the better you'll get it, and it's just got a bit of a unique handling. So we'll keep going with that one. Again, another racing game for the Dreamcast which has great handling. Out of the box here is Le Mans 24 Hour. This is a German copy of the game, but it was available in the UK as well. The game itself is in English, packaging is in German. It's really good. I was pleasantly surprised by this one. I knew it was good, but I didn't know how friendly the handling would be. It's not quite a simulation as I was thinking, because I managed to crash straight into a wall and I kind of just bounced straight off it. So it's not quite Forza Motorsport, but I really like the way it handles and the way it looks. It's got good graphics, responsive handling, and it looks like a premier driving game for the Dreamcast, which I'm happy to have. Another Dreamcast driving game is Tokyo Highway Challenge. The Tokyo Highway Challenge series, or the Tokyo Extreme Racers series as otherwise known as, is a series of quite unique racing games where you race on a Tokyo Highway. It's been renamed from the Japanese release, like a lot of games are. I can't remember what that was called exactly, but you challenge other street racers onto one-on-one battles There are other modes, I think, but I've not kind of discovered everything with this game because I've not had, again, a lot of time to play it. But it's fast, 60 frames per second. It boasts on the back of the box here. I noticed the mode I was playing though, the first 2 races were a walk in the park, and the 3rd race got rather more difficult. I think what I was missing out on is upgrading my car, and I think that's what you really have to do to stay ahead of the game in this particular series. But it was pretty fun and cheap. Well, we're talking about the Tokyo Highway Challenge. Here's Tokyo Extreme Racer. This is a PS2 racing game in the same series, and it's pretty fun. But it seems like the handling is analog on the X button. I didn't think the face buttons on a PS2 controller were pressure sensitive. I don't think they are still, but I felt like I wasn't going very fast when I was accelerating with the X in this. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't like it as much as Tokyo Highway Challenge, but perhaps the game just needs a little bit more time. Sticking with PS2 games, we might as well. Here is Star Trek Elite Force. Yep, Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. This is a first-person shooter Star Trek game. It was released on the PC as well. Had a quick go on this. I got stuck in a corner, surrounded by Borg, who were... I just couldn't get free, and they hadn't killed me yet, and it was I must have had a large health meter. That was my experience with this game. I didn't have time to go back to it and really give it a proper go. I found it a little bit frustrating, but I could see the potential in this game, so I'm willing to give it another shot. And I'm quite happy to have it though. It's like a pretty cool game, and it's a bit highly regarded. At least the PC version was. Operation Winback, a game I've been thinking about getting the N64 since well, many years ago. Where I was considering buying this game. I decided to opt for the PlayStation 2 version in the end because I just heard it was the better game. It was a more polished, slightly more polished version of the N64 original. So I look forward to giving this a go. It's known for sort of inventing the cover-based, third-person cover-based shooter. At least how we see it now. A lot of games you'd think may have been influenced by Gears of War, and that was the instigator of this type of gameplay. But in truth, I think you can track that back a lot further to games like this, and there are others as well. And the names elude me at the moment. There's another PS2 game which uses cover-based mechanics to great effect. I forget what it is, but there we go. Operation Winback on the PS2. Moving on to a Mega Drive game, which was a Genesis game. This is Double Dragon. Double Dragon 5, The Shadow Falls. Unlike other Double Dragon games, it's a one-on-one beat-em-up that plays pretty well. I was actually surprised. I'd heard very lukewarm reviews of this game, but it's certainly not... I've played a lot of fighters. This isn't the worst fighter I've ever played. There's far worse out there. It boasts hot rock music, 130 plus sound effects. Wow, and it's a little better than average fighter. There's a couple of games here unboxed that came with something else I'll show you in 1 second. So I got these games free. Freedom Fighters and World Snooker Championship 2005. I got to pick 2 games from a bunch of Xbox games for free because what's it called? That's Entertainment. It's a second-hand shop which is stocked by people sending in their old CDs and games and stuff. I think using Music Magpie, which is an online service for to get money for your old stuff. Someone had traded in a green original Xbox, and seeing that I've been having a little trouble with my own Xbox and the disc tray issue, I know it can be fixed, but I was rather tempted by this lovely green Xbox. So this is a working disc tray and a working laser, unlike the crystal Xbox I picked up from a charity shop not so long ago, which unfortunately its laser was broken and its tray didn't work properly. So very happy to have a complete working original Xbox again with its 2 free games. I picked these because these were, I thought, the best of the bunch, and certainly ones I didn't already own, which a couple of the other games were, like SSX 3. That's that. Pop that down there a second. And here's another, well, it's a charity shop pickup. It's not from a store like That's Entertainment, but it was from a charity shop, and my girlfriend saw this in the window for £5. As you can see, it's a Sega Saturn wheel. It's all in there, all the original bag, the instructions, everything. Good condition, and had a go on Sega Rally using this, and it was fun. I have to say, it did deliver more of the arcade style experience at home. It's heavy, it's got a metal base too. Like most Sega peripherals, it's very high build quality. And a fiver, being a fan of retro games and retro gaming and a collector, I couldn't not pick this up. And when I was speaking to the guy at the till, and he was telling me he wasn't sure whether or not he'd trade it in. Well, I say trade it in, he didn't know whether or not he should take it, because he wasn't sure if it would actually sell. And lo and behold, it has. And I told the guy, you know, retro games, very much into them, as a lot of people are. So yes, we need to encourage charity shops to trade in gaming goodness, for sure. And I think lastly we've got Glover. Glover is an N64 platform, 3D platforming game that I'd wanted to play for an awful long time. It was a game I always wanted back in the day. I finally found it for a reasonable price. I won it at an auction on eBay, reasonably cheap. I must mention, yeah, I said before these were eBay purchases. Yeah, I did show you a couple of ones I picked up while I was in the UK. But yeah, to break trend a little bit. There's Glover. Glover's great. Glover's a very unique platform game, and I was really surprised at how well all the unique elements kind of blended together to make a very playable platform game, which I can see having a lot of puzzle type thinking behind it. So that's that, and that's the end. Thanks again for listening. I hope you found this video informative. And as usual, maybe you might have found something that has interested you, and you might like to pick it up. I am, again, sorry I haven't been including gameplay footage. I'd really love to do that, but I don't actually have the equipment, and I guess it would be a little bit more than just a pickup video. Is because personally I'm not so into these pickup videos. If I'm doing a video about video games, I like to be able to talk in a bit more depth about them and not just show what I found, or especially when you just bought it off eBay. It's not like you've got a story where you've gone up to a charity shop and found a couple of things. That is true about a couple of the things I've shown today, but it's a lot nicer to be able to talk about these games, and I think a little bit of gameplay footage would definitely be a lot more enjoyable. But if I do that, I think I change the whole nature of the videos. But we'll see. If I do get the ability to do that in the future, which I'm certainly going to look into, then I will be doing a few videos like that, I hope. But for now, if you like the pickup videos, I'll keep doing them, and I'll try and be as informative as I can as I talk about the games. So again, I hope you have enjoyed, and I will certainly catch you again for another Parry's Pickups. Ta-ta for now, and game on.